August 24th, 2015. My name's Philip DeFranco, and let's get you filled in. And the first thing I want to talk about today is the weirdest headline I saw in the past 24 hours. Wiz Khalifa forced to the floor and handcuffed for riding a hoverboard. Okay, let's take a look. So the hoverboard that old school media is talking about is this thing. Some call it an e-rover, a balance board, or that fucking thing you've seen every Viner or YouTuber on recently. It's not a hoverboard. I got excited. I was like, Wiz Khalifa got tackled because he stole government technology? No, so what it turns out is he's on this thing at LAX. And at first what seemed to me like just a straightforward story has me really torn, because reportedly what happened is Wiz Khalifa was going through LAX, and judging from the video it looks like he was in line, possibly in customs. They tell him to get off of the board, he says no. He's refusing to dismount, as we see from this video that Wiz Khalifa posted himself.
Can't do nothing, we can talk, we can have all the conversations you want to, you can end up on TMZ, that's gonna become as famous as you want to be.
Alright, so in all honesty, Wiz Khalifa is kind of being a dick about it, but then the second video is what actually bothers me. They force Khalifa to the ground, they handcuff him, and then they just start shouting this.
I'm resisting!
It's very obviously not resisting, and I hate when you see police officers just use that word to make whatever they're about to do or they're currently doing okay. It's just so excessive at that point. You see that their frustration and their emotions are coming out now. But in general, it's just this big, stupid, avoidable situation. And ultimately, I don't see any heroes here. Like Wiz Khalifa afterwards tweeted, "I stand for our generation, and our generation is gonna be riding hoverboards. So if you don't like it, eat a dick." Alright, that's a weird thing to take a stand for. Pro hoverboard. And I'm also not on the side of the officers who used what I believe is excessive force. But how about you step off your toy when you're in line at the airport? And from there, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome, sponsored by forhumanpeoples.com. FHP, of course, has been that fantastic place where you can get all our shirts. Now every few weeks we've been launching new products. We have leggings, brand new awesome backpacks just in time for school. And today, if you want to grab some stuff, use coupon code PHIL for 10% off. And the first bit of awesome is something that has changed my childhood. A tuber by the name of J. Matthew Turner uploaded a video, and it shows that in the Karate Kid, the original, Daniel is actually the bully and Johnny is the hero. If you're like, no way, after this video, watch it. Then we had John Oliver covering LGBT discrimination, as well as updating everyone on his tax evasion church. Then there was a video from Simon Line that really just sums up what a relationship is: buying furniture together and annoying one another, but hopefully annoying her more than she annoys you. But in her defense, I also hate puns. And then we have our lovely lady of the day, as recommended by the nation, Miss Christine Martz. I'm not gonna ask why the gentleman that recommended Christine to me did so at 2 o'clock in the morning, and of course making a lovely lady of the day gallery of her. So if for science reasons you want to check that out, or of course our final bit of awesome, our secret link of the day, or anything I talked about or shared with you today, links as always in the description down below. Then in This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things news, 2 men have been arrested because I can't believe this. 2 men have been arrested for threatening violence against attendees of the Pokemon World Championship. But that's not the full reason. The police were notified of these threats, so they found and they stopped the men as they attempted to enter the building. They were not arrested at that time, but then detectives said, you know, they threatened these guys, they came in from out of state, let's search their car. So they get a search warrant, they look through the car, they find an AR-15, a 12-gauge shotgun, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, a hunting knife, and guess what? They didn't have licenses for the guns, so they took illegal guns over state lines after they threatened someone online. Which, side note, who threatens to shoot people at a Pokemon championship? That is no way to become the very best like no one ever was. Granted, lead-based attacks are super effective against fleshy types, but it's not legal. But really, who does that? Well, Team Rocket would. Side note, as a child, did anyone else have a weird thing for the redhead? I think that's my mommy issues talking. Anyway, so to 18-year-old Kevin Norton and 27-year-old James Stumbo, I hope he enjoyed being arrested and now facing all those charges. And then let's talk about Black Monday. There are a lot of theories as to why the international economic market has taken such a beating today, but I think it's pretty simple. First off, pop group One Direction announced that starting in March, they are taking a 1-year-long hiatus, meaning that they won't tour after the release of their 5th album, and they're going to focus on solo ventures. The Chinese economy, if you do not know, relies heavily on not caring about patents, building things that people don't actually use, and the totes dreaminess of the boys from One Direction, which is why Shanghai's main share index closed down 8.49%, but most likely because they knew Zayn was going to leave in the first place, they're down 40% since June. Seeing this then freaked the rest of the world out, and the Dow Jones dropped 1,000 points. Then, as of recording this video, which is pretty early, someone must have told US investors about 5 seconds of summer because the Dow Jones started coming back up. So the main point is we don't know where today is gonna end. Just remember that panic is not your friend, and there's always money in the banana stand. Also, no, you're not allowed to start breaking into Best Buys and stealing stuff until it drops another 2,000 points, just in case you didn't get that memo. Then, what would another day in August be without more Ashley Madison news? A few more people have been named. An Islamic preacher was named, but he said the account wasn't his. That YouTuber Sam Rader, you know, the one that surprised his wife with the pregnancy test. And then there was the news about her miscarriage, and then everyone started saying it was fake, it wasn't fake. Well, for the most part, people stopped talking about that part because his name showed up for having a paid account on Ashley Madison. I was wondering when we were gonna get our first YouTuber name. After this news broke, Sam then made a video saying that the accusations that he had this account are true, but it's okay because God forgave him. Then much of the internet flamed Sam for being a massive hypocrite, many citing old videos where they say he was anti-gay marriage, and then, you get outed as an adulterer, or in his defense, an attempted adulterer. Because that's a weird thing. I even talked to my wife about it. What is worse? Like a mistake that you make on like a drunken night, it's like this one-time thing, or someone actively spending money to try to cheat on you for 4 months while you're pregnant. Neither are ideal, but Jesus! And then to top it all off, reportedly he was kicked out of an event this weekend called Vlogger Fair for reportedly threatening violence against someone who had been talking crap to him on Twitter. But ultimately I think my problem with this is just the inclusion of, well, it's all okay because God forgave me. I feel like that's just this card that people are allowed to play and they just get away with the fucking, you cheated, or at the very least, you tried to cheat for several months on the mother of your children who was actively making another baby. And while I do have the belief that sometimes people can change, they can't really change that much. A liar is a thief is a cheater, and a cheater just waits for the next chance. And if you thought it was bad before he had fans, it's just gonna get worse. Ask almost any male tuber with a sizable audience in a dedicated relationship how much they have to block and mute. This isn't an attack on religion, it is an attack on a man using religion as a way to get away for being a shitty human being. But that's just my opinion. That's where I'm going to end today's show and bring you to the big question of the day. Do you think that people change? Yes, no. If you do, is there a certain age where it stops? Can you ever trust a cheater again? I'd love to know what you think and why. This is something that I think is personal to a lot of people, but is also very universal. Also, so thanks to you lovely subscribers that give that love on the daily. 2 people in the comments down below win $50 gift cards to 4humanpeoples.com. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.
But I don't know, I really like banging. It's fun. I really like
Who doesn't like banging?
Raina likes this lab coat way too much, and I think it's for like really inappropriate reasons.